for the front kick. You all know how to kick with the rear leg. That's a whip like action. As you do this, think about how you used to kick with the front leg, where you would wind up to do it, and how fast this is. Okay, stop a second. I notice some of you, when you're throwing this kick, your body is not moving. You notice how it's like doing sanshin like this, with no body action. So if you're not using any body action, you're kicking, yeah, it's working. But it's not the same as when you get your whole body into it. Your body has to go forward like that. And there's no breaking the angle of the leg. I see some of you still a little, here, I got to do this to make it stronger. It's strong enough, believe me. Just keep it here. Okay, try it. Okay, switch sides again. Let the other side do it. One more time. Start off slowly. Always start off slowly. Accelerate movement so that the form is correct. Form is more important than speed and power at this level. Don't break that sanshin, unbreakable leg angle. You're hitting with the whole leg, not just with the your toes and ankle. You're hitting with your yes. You're hitting with the lift. You're hitting it up.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So if we want to You still want to make it harder. You don't have to make it harder. You just make it nice and soft. Just lift and move with your whole body. There you go. That's better. Now you're just pushing. You get a little tired. Okay, great. Every dojo I've gone to and shown that technique, almost all of the students absolutely love it. When you first do it, it feels weak, and it should, because you're learning something new. For all students, for all teachers. So yeah, it feels a little different. But with half hour of training, that kick is so fast and so powerful, because you're kicking with your whole body. The moment you break those angles, like this, you're taking away your Uechi-ryu, you're taking away your sanshin. It's different for a rear kick because here you're moving the leg a long way. So you want that whip-like little bit of a delayed action. That's the follow-up kick. But the get your attention kick is one where that fast you want it in, the target. And it's amazing how powerful that kick can be. So when I come back next year, hopefully we'll see everybody using it. All right, we're going to go on with kata now. Konshu. First level. Now, when you were doing those kicking drills, were you doing a little breathing, a little release?
Hi.
See, that's the beauty of this. Everything you do, you're using all of your sanshin core principles. The leg angle, how important that leg angle is. How important your body action is. All comes from sanshin. And when you start feeling that, that's when you start discovering things about your kata and about Uechi-ryu. Okay, Konshu. And I'll let you go through it without counting because I count a little different than Allan does, and I don't want to confuse anyone. Hey, go. Ichime. Soft. Level 1, go.
notice how quick you went. Notice how many front kicks are on Uechi, by the way? There's something that's telling you why that kick was so important. And in Uechi-ryu, a lot of get your attention kicks. And how quick those of you who are doing your front kick all of a sudden went right back to the old way of doing it, because that's what you practice. And that's, again, reinforcement of my statement that what you practice is what you're going to do when you have to do so. So this is going to take some process. Remember, if you're a black belt, it may take you longer than if you're a white belt to get into this flow of things. Because you have to break some habits in order to get the feeling for the new things. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it. I'm just saying I would play with it. If I were a shodan at this point, I would love this kind of input because it gives me more room to explore the system rather than just doing a ritual kata. That's the same every day and every month, and good exercise. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that are being done won't allow you to be carried over into your more advanced areas of Uechi-ryu. So, again, you did this kata at soft level. Now I want you to do it again at soft level. So, but when you do that block and kick, see if in fact you're doing this or if that kick is going out with your body. Even though it's soft and slow, you can still get your body into it. It should look the same as your third speed. All right, ready? Konshu. Right? Going. Go. Go into your deep stance. Now, when I was on Okinawa the first time, I asked a lot of questions, and Tommy Osi, when I asked about the stances in it, he said, we only have one stance, and that's Sanchen. And I said, well, what about when you go down into the elbow strike? He said, that's just a deep Sanchen. All right? And it is. As your Sanchen expands, your feet position will change. And depending on how flexible you are, the stance will look different for you than for me or Jen or for Allan. All right? But when you're in that stance where you're delivering something, it should be a very powerful stance. You know, you should feel as though you could push a car out of mud. That was a Jimmy Maloney comment that I stole from him. And I love that feeling. You're in there, you can push a car. Now, how many of you can do that when you're like that? I can. So it's a deep Sanchen stance. It'll look different for all of us. Now when you're in that position, you should be able to do a parallel to your body circle block. As you're going down, it should be a spiral block. Okay? That means you've got to move out to this position here. Timing-wise, arm stops and the foot stops. All right. Then, when you're delivering the elbow, your stance will change because you're using your lower body to help supplement the power of that elbow hitting something you have right here that might resemble a ball, big ball, or a head, all right, whatever you want to look, or a vision. But as you come around, your stance will change. All right? And then here. Now what I saw a lot was, you went down here. Okay, is this a very powerful punch? So there again, as you're doing it slowly, that's when you can make these changes. Make a change to work for you. It doesn't have to look like what I'm doing, but when you go down there, you should feel you're controlling whatever you have here, someone's arm, shoulder, or whatever. And when you're hitting, you should feel like you're going to knock someone's head off. Here, as you're hitting with the back fist, you should feel your body involved in it. You come back here for the punch, you should feel that that punch has some power. Let's try it again. Punch it. Let's try middle speed so you can work on your breathing. That means there is dynamic involvement with your body muscles. Ready? Hey! Go! Hajime! Second speed, that's not full speed. Hajime! Slow down, you're way too fast. Always lead with whatever the angles are, you maintain those angles through your Uechi movement. Don't, like this is just another way of doing this, winding up, making it feel stronger. But this is a delay. While you're doing, allowing your elbows to go ahead of your arms, you actually lose the balance. All right, full speed. Now, I noticed that your second speed for most of yours, you have one speed right now. And you got to work on trying to develop 3 speeds. Now we can do that third speed. Ready? Hey. Good. Tiger eyes. Go. Great. All right, excellent. Excellent. Okay, we're going to do another one. Soft first speed. Ready? While you're tired. That's what I want you to get that feeling now. You can relax. And now your muscles are all warmed up. Now I'll just work on form. Hey. Punch you. Go ahead. Give it. And go. In that level, I can make corrections because I can see what you're doing, that you're going to carry on at speeds that I can't watch. I notice some of you doing this double block, and your arms are pretty straight, and you're blocking with the bent wrists like that. All right, now this movement is designed with a straight forearm, and you're striking with cock and four-knuckle fist. So this is the angle here. It shouldn't be like that. Now I can tell because you're doing it slowly and it stands up. You're doing it slowly, chances are you're doing it full speed. So you make your corrections, and you should feel these things. If they don't feel right, they probably, there's something wrong with this. If you feel a little off balance on your turn, then you should work on the turn. Now one thing that I emphasize in my training is that if a person has a problem on something, I'll make a correction. And I ask that person to do the movement the way I corrected it 1,000 times before tomorrow. And you come back to the next class, it's right. All right? So how many things have we talked about today? All right. I don't want to overwhelm you. But again, mostly it's things that I think you inherently know. It makes sense. It's just something you haven't really bothered to think about because you're having so much fun doing your kata the way you're doing it, and you know it's all okay. But if you want to start digging into it and start really examining it as an art of self-defense, then you've got to start tearing your kata apart a little bit. Be a little more critical. I had a student once who, no matter how many times I'd say, gee, I recommend you do this a little bit differently. And he said, well, I'm already doing it that way, Sensei. And I said, well, it doesn't appear that way. So I said, how about if I take a film of it? He said, that'd be great. You know, so I took a film of him going through the kata, and I circled things as he was going through it and made comment. And he says, but I am doing it that way, Sensei. In his mind, he could not see himself doing anything other than the way he envisioned it. His vision was correct. It's just the performance was something that didn't match what he thought he was doing. And there are people, I guess, who have that problem. But I hope no one here does. But in slow speed, open your mind and feel the kata, feel the position, feel if your elbows are in too far and they just don't feel right, put them out a little bit. Play around with it. There's nothing sacred about kata. These are just movements. But they're movements that you're taking from one level and taking to another level. If they're not done correctly at that slow speed, no chance at all of doing right and being right at the top speed. Right? Any questions now before we break for lunch? Good class, you remember everything. Okay.